Good morning, reptilians. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Elle, and this is Elle's Reptiles. This week, we are doing a video about pet reptiles that don't take up a super lot of time. This is a question that I get often because many of you are going to school or you work during the day and you don't have a lot of time during the day to actually take out and handle your pet reptiles. Perfect timing for this question that I get a lot because I am actually going back to school. Yay! Update, went back to school, had to discontinue school for obvious reasons. Yeah, let's talk about animals that don't take up a lot of time. Reptiles don't really take up a lot of time anyway, for the most part. This isn't a puppy. You're not gonna have to potty train it, house train it. You don't have to do any of those things. The biggest thing here is timers. Get your lights on timers and it's going to make life so much easier taking care of reptiles. If you have your pet's lights on a timer, they're going to kick off at a certain time every day. They're going to kick on at a certain time every day. And it doesn't matter if you work a 24 straight hour shift, your lights are taken care of and you don't have to worry about it. That takes a lot of stress off. The first one on the list is the Crested Gecko, and very specifically, Crested Geckos with bioactive tanks. This is always my go-to for every single list because they are my favorite. They are the easiest. They are just so fantastic. Crested Geckos aren't going to take up that much time even if they're not in a bioactive tank, but bonus points for bioactive tanks because then you don't have to clean out soil and stuff. It's all being cleaned by the cleanup crew, minus urates. You will have to clean urates and the glass occasionally. But Crested Geckos are so easy. Number one, they're usually going to be sleeping throughout the day. So even if you're working all day, it doesn't matter. They're gonna be asleep, they're gonna be fine. Crested geckos aren't generally a pet that you're going to take out and handle for hours upon hours at a time. They're not like a bearded dragon where people will watch movies and play games and stuff with them for a long amounts of time. Crested geckos are jumpy. They like to jump, they like to be active. So if you're not taking your crested gecko out every day or you're not taking them out for a long amount of time, it's fine. It's gonna be fine. Just make sure they have a lot of enrichment in that tank. Make sure they have a pretty large tank, lots of room to jump and climb and lots of things to do, and they are gonna be good to go. Crested Gecko's food is super easy. You are just feeding them a powder diet that takes literally 2 seconds to mix up. You put the powder in there, you squirt some dechlorinated water, mix it up, all the vitamins and stuff's already in there, you slap it in the tank. You spray down the tank once a day to provide them with drinking water and to water those plants if you've gone bioactive and to keep that humidity up, and that's it. That is all that you have to do. Highly suggested if you work long hours or you go to school during the day. Crested geckos. So easy. Next up we have Colubrids, which is, and there's one right here next to me somewhere sleeping. Colubrids are such easy pet snakes anyways. So we're talking things like corn snakes, king snakes, rat snakes, garter snakes, any of those sorts of animals don't take up a lot of time. They are very active. They are going to be up and moving around and stuff, but the amount of effort that you have to put in isn't a very large amount of effort. You're making sure that they have fresh water and you can handle them whenever you feel like handling them, but they're not an animal that you need to take out every single day if you don't want to or if you don't have time. They're gonna be fine. If you get a tiny little baby, that may be something that you want to take out more regularly just to make sure that they are comfortable being handled. But if we're talking an adult corn snake, you don't have to take them out every day. They probably don't even want to be taken out every day, especially around feeding time, things like that. You're gonna feed them once every 1 to 2 weeks. Very little effort being put in there. And right after you feed them, you don't want to take them out anyway. So very little amount of effort for a very active, very cool animal. Next up we have the ball python. 2 of them right here. Ball pythons take up very little time, just like the snakes we just talked about. You're gonna feed them once a week to once every 2 weeks, depending on how old they are. That's it. You can spend copious amounts of time with your ball python if you wanted to, but you don't have to. If you have just worked an 18-hour shift and you want to just come home and sleep, you can do that. As long as your ball python has fresh water, then it's fine. You could have given them water before your 18-hour shift and they're gonna be good. You're gonna be fine to come home and go to sleep. It's fine. They don't take up a super lot of time. The most amount of time that these guys are going to take up is when you need to just clean their substrate or whatever out about once a month-ish. They are a great pet to take out and handle because they are so calm, but no one is forcing you to do that, so you don't have to do that. This guy likes to come out often. He comes out when he wants to come out. He'll come to the glass. She does not. she does not get taken out very often because she doesn't like it. So, you know, it's whatever you want to do. Ball pythons are great. They're just not time consuming. Next up, we have the cave gecko. I adore my cave gecko. She is the cutest, but cave geckos in general are usually pretty shy and would prefer to be left alone anyway. Another bonus points for getting them set up in a bioactive tank. Now you have taken out the need to clean their tank unless something goes crazy in that tank. Like if it starts to smell like rotting anything, then yeah, it's gonna have to be cleaned out. But otherwise, you don't have to clean it out. Your cleanup crew does that for you. You can leave your cave gecko to be alone in his or her little cave like they want to be, and you can go about your life and just get excited when you see them out like I do, because I get so excited when I see Mazikeen out. I posted a short the other day. It was definitely the other day when I filmed this. Now, not so much. I don't know when this video is coming out. I posted a short not too long ago just because I was so excited to see her out, because I never get to see her out. If you're looking for more of a cool display, I guess, animal, then cave geckos are really good for that. And speaking of cool display animals, day geckos. Day geckos are beautiful. There's multiple different types of day geckos, but they're always so beautiful. They're like bright greens and bright reds and bright yellows and blues, and oh, they're so pretty. They don't like to be held. They like to just be out on display. Bioactive tank. You don't have to clean the tank if you go bioactive. You just have this beautiful display animal that does not take up a super lot of time. They are going to eat insects, so that does take some time. Just put them in a very good sized tank. That way they have lots of enrichment. They have lots of things to do. They have lots of room to move around. Bioactive is the way to go for those too. And if you've never done a bioactive tank before, I keep this whole list, I've constantly pointed out bioactive tanks. If you've never done one before, super easy. I have so many bioactive builds on my channel here. If you're just starting out, I highly recommend just putting a bunch of pothos plants in there. You can get them from like Home Depot, Walmart, wherever. Pothos plants are pretty much unkillables unless you have a snake that likes to uproot it. They are pretty sturdy plants. Highly recommend that if you are brand new to bioactive tanks. Don't do anything crazy, because then it's going to die and you're going to be sad because your plants keep dying over and over. No matter how much effort you put into it, the plants just keep dying. That is it. That is all that I have for this video. Hopefully it was helpful. If you are a super busy person and you are wanting animals that aren't going to take up a super lot of time, hopefully this was helpful. As always, if you haven't already, please feel free to follow me on socials and like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications every single time I put out a new video, which is every Sunday and some Wednesdays. This week's Instagram shout out is here, and this week's subscriber shout out is here. Thank you so much for liking and following, subscribing and sharing and commenting and all that jazz. You are the bee's knees. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye. Alright. I feel like I wore this shirt a lot. I really like this shirt. I'm Elle, and this is Elle's Reptiles. I don't think I said that in the last one. Video about... Actually, I don't know which one's gonna go first. Okay. If you have a crested gecko, and... Crested gecko, and... If, and actually, at the very beginning, we're gonna say your ball pythons take up very little room. Nope. I think I'm done. Done.